So before we get rolling here, I'm going to be going live tonight with Dan with Dan B on TruthRadioShow.com, and I've never been on this particular network before, but oh, there it is. Yeah, spiritual warfare. We're going to talk about Nephilim tonight, and I find that funny that he's using my picture from the minute I got out of being incarcerated. That was my happy, smiling face right there. But this will be live tonight, so I'll leave a link in the description below. And for those that don't know what the description is, because believe it or not, some people don't, this is the description box. Under every video, you see the title, and then right here, this is the description box. You simply click on more, and it'll show you more. Do you see what I mean? And this video by 𝗦𝗵𝗿𝗱 is pretty good. I got to definitely highly recommend it. I've spoke to Tyler a couple of times. He's a solid dude. He's doing what he can. At any rate, here we go. This is May 30th, 2025, 10:31 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and they are rocking the nation. Specifically the East Coast, but California. I mean, California is almost completely covered in ELF frequencies, NexRad, whatever the frequencies are. They're not good for humans. You see what I'm saying? But they keep plowing it anyways. But this is the East Coast. This is what we deal with. It's amazing, man. Looks like people up in Montana are a little safe, but you always see the lasers going off up here, so it's hard to tell. We're all getting smoked here, and they just continue to do whatever they want, and people just continue to, I don't know, ignore it, do nothing. I don't know. So one of my subscribers sent this in to me, and at first I'm thinking to myself, are you kidding me, man? This guy thinks the moon's moving through the sky. It's the clouds. But then I realized it wasn't. Leave it in the comments below. What do you think this is? But I think this is an absolute trip. We know they've got patents. We know they've got all sorts of things flying around up in the sky. And the number one question I keep getting via email, I'm going to answer all of you here now. How do they keep a patented sun in front of our sun, blocking out our actual natural sun? It's the ether. It's something that Nikola Tesla talked about all the time, and then Albert Einstein showed up from the post office and told everybody E equals MC squared, and everything was all set. The ether is some sort of a non-liquid, non-gas, non-plasma thing between Earth and heaven. And these guys know all about it. They know the secrets of the ether, and they use it to propel their patented sun or their patented moon or whatever else they've got going on up there. It's insane. And I can hear me speaking. I know I sound like a crazy person, but look up. See it for yourself. You see what I'm saying?
Look how fast the moon is moving, dude. Okay, here it comes. Look at, dude. It's cruising. I can see it moving. Look at the moon. I'm not moving the camera. Dude, the moon is hauling ass. That ain't no friggin' moon, dude. It just moved like 10 degrees in like 2 minutes. Look at the moon. Look at it go. It's half a moon. It's shooting across. That is no friggin' moon. Okay, it's slowing down because I'm talking to it. It caught me catching it, and now it stopped. Dude, it was shooting across. That is some crazy shit.
Now, I don't know what to make of that, but a lot of people have been getting really strange footage of the heavenly bodies. And like I used to say back in the old days, and I'll say it again, we were always told that there will be signs in the sun, moon, and stars. There was a reason that was said, because the sky is a clock. A sky gives us actual biblical dates and such, and I find it really strange that these guys spend all of their time obscuring the sky and putting fake heavenly bodies up in the sky. But on that, I will digress. So with this video footage from a subscriber showing what appears to be the moon just cruising through the sky, pay attention to the local news because they're telling us there's an asteroid that's coming that could make Hiroshima look even worse. This asteroid could take out 3 cities. I find it really odd because if you know the real biblical cosmology, there are no asteroids, but there's only what man can do. Do you see what I'm saying? And this appears to be a test right here. Because over China, this was videotaped by numerous people. This thing allegedly lit up the entire sky. This is a crazy, crazy thing to be seeing. But you need to remember, if you understand what the Bible tells you, you know that this is the hand of man. This is not the hand of God. Okay? This is these guys testing out some of their technology because they're literally working with AI. They're literally working with fallen entities. They've told us. We're not just guessing what they're doing. They've told us we're opening doors to other dimensions. Whatever comes in, comes in. Whatever goes out, goes out. It is what it is. They've openly stated that they're summoning beings. They've said it a million times. And now we see things like this, and then you tie this to the newspaper reports I just showed you. They're warning you that something like this is coming. This is insane, but this is the world that we live in right now. Do you see what I'm saying? Crazy times, man, for real. And I warned you back in 2020, when these guys finally do their final push, to finally put the capstone on the pyramid, to finally wrap the entire thing up, they're going to hit us from every single solitary angle. And do you remember what happened back in 2019 and 2020? Well, guess what? It's back again. So for all those that aren't paying attention, they're getting ready again. They're pushing the C-19 PSYOP round 2 all over again. And I just want to remind you about this patent right here that was filed in 2011, March 9th. And basically, you already know the drill. The test swab actually gives you the disease. Do you see what I'm saying? It's pretty old news, but I'm going to put it out there again because they're getting ready. Within the next 60 days, we will be exactly where we were not too long ago. And you know what the drill is. But this time, it's for keeps. You know what I'm saying? These guys are going to do this for real. Like they warned us before.
Well, this won't be the last pandemic that we face. You know, pandemics can come from natural causes, which is largely coming across from other species. You know, a flu, for example, is still a very big risk. And so we'll have to invest in making sure that we catch the disease sooner and that we have platforms to make diagnostics, therapeutics, and vaccines very quickly. Very little was invested, even though there were these calls by a lot of people, including our foundation. One group that was funded, the Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, CEPI, we, Wellcome Trust, Norway, UK, Japan, were the initial funders, and that is helping out here. So we're better off than if that hadn't happened. But, you know, people trust government to think through these eventual bad things. This was a failure to get ready, and the cost would have been tiny compared to, say, what we spend on being ready for war. We didn't actually do the simulation to think about, okay, what about nursing homes? What about getting factories ready? What about the testing regime? You know, in fact, the testing could have been ramped up very quickly, and a few countries that have almost avoided the epidemic entirely, like Taiwan, New Zealand, Australia, you know, they took their experience and actually prepared, and so they moved a lot faster. So we, you know, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, you know, I'd say is will get attention this time.
Yep, they're really going for it. It's the sequel. They're going to push this right down everybody's throats. All your favorite actors are back all of a sudden. Doctors that aren't actually doctors. People that everyone thought was going to prison. the president that won't stand for this, even though he was the guy that literally ushered in Operation Warp Speed. This will be for keeps this time around. They're not playing around. They're doing this thing. And you can see this because just look around. It's coming at us from every single solitary angle. It's coming on the ground. It's coming via lockdowns. It's coming via testing. They're not going to stop. And like the biggest thing is America won't sign the deal. America led the charge. Do you remember? And do you remember who the leader was at the time? Same thing, different year. But this time they're playing for keeps. Agenda 2030 is a date that they have carved in stone, no pun intended, and they're not going to miss it. They're not going to let a little thing like people get in their way. They show that all the time. And like I said, they're using the weather, sun, moon, stars, everything is in effect right now. These guys are actually really, really going to try to put the capstone on the pyramid. And when that happens, currency is gone. So everything, and this is just insane that all this is happening all at one time. But it is. This is America. This is the New World Order. There is no place that's safe. You know what I'm saying? There is no place that's safe. It's the entire world. And they're doing this really well. And you can't forget the fact that they probably have a massive army of robots ready to deploy.
Them like they've never been pushed before, and that's why we have it.
Greatest achievements was getting the vaccine done in 9 months instead of 5.5 to 12 years. But the problem is, we saved tens of millions of lives all over the world, but I can't talk about it because our base, our beautiful base of which some of you are there, you get angry when we mention the word vaccine. Don't get angry.
You did everything you could to get this vaccine out. I know
it
where
was
you
one
stand
of
on
the
the vaccine.
greatest achievements. We did it in less than 9 months.
To be able to do that.
Yeah,
But now it's taken a twist, right?
And then people don't want it, and it probably even affects the others because, there's a big situation with a lot of people don't want to take the vaccine. Well, this played right into their hands. And they want me to do public service messages and everything about everybody taking the vaccine. And look, I guess in a certain way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it. To get it done in less than 9 months was a miracle. Fauci said it would take 3 to 5 years. He thought it was something that just wouldn't be that effective because it would take so long to get. I pushed the FDA like they have never been pushed before. I wouldn't exactly say they're in love with me. They have never, this is a very bureaucratic organization. I push them like they've never been pushed before, and that's why we have it.
The vaccine is one of the greatest achievements of mankind. We would have had in 1917, remember the Spanish flu, killed perhaps 100 million people. Can you imagine if you had to go through what all of the countries of the world who are now getting the vaccine or soon will be getting it, from various companies, but can you imagine if all of those countries had to go through what they've been going through over the last year? You'd lose hundreds of millions of people.
Let the teachers get the vaccine. They should get the vaccine. I hope they do. Again, it's something I'm very proud of. 9 months, less than 9 months, you would have another Spanish flu. Maybe 100 million people. Who knows? I mean, the numbers were really incredible. But you add the fact that I was the one, and this administration was the one that came up with a vaccine, which is going to save the world, okay? It's going to save. We would be, I think, worse than 1917, where 50 to 100 million people died. And look, I guess in a certain way, I'm the father of the vaccine because I was the one that pushed it.
Whether people understand this or not, we're living in the middle of a massive, massive ritual that's going on. In order to conjure up their New World Order, the one thing that they need is human sacrifice. And that's what's getting done right now in the Middle East. Because everyone thinks that Trump turned his back on Israel. Trump's just ignoring Israel, which is allowing them to continue doing what they're doing. They're killing off an entire race of people in the most brutal fashion ever devised by man, and people are just arguing about it, but it just keeps going on. Do you see what I'm saying? It just keeps going on. It's amazing. It's amazing where we find ourselves right now. If you're ready for Christ's return, that's phenomenal. That is absolutely phenomenal. But I'll tell you what, we're going to live through some seriously bad times. And it's already begun. It's just going to ramp up even worse. It's going to come through the sky, the sea, every single way you could possibly imagine, and then, of course, through frequencies, because we are literally surrounded right now everywhere. For all those people with tinnitus, this is what I've decided. This is what I've come up with. I think tinnitus is just people that can actually hear the frequencies. That's all. Because I don't remember when my ears started ringing, but I'll tell you what, when I turn everything off, the ringing in my ears is so loud, it's scary. It's literally scary. At any rate, Richie from Boston, watch this or don't. So I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the people that have been donating because this is going rather well. Robert Roof, Amy Ruiz, C. Adams, several anonymous, Matthew Dempsey, Jason Tomes, Kathy Yandel, anonymous, Robert Kiert, I can't say that, L.A. Desher, Ross DeLacy, Kelly Cycle, Michael Roberts, P. Ra, Medicine Bear, Ted Coates, Farmer Maloney. He's my man. He scared me. I was scared when I first got to his property last year, but he was totally legit. Literally has thermal caves heating and cooling his greenhouse, which is it was amazing to me. American Mexican gunslinger and his family. I've met them out in California. Awesome people. Daniel Atwater, Jackie Super, Jeremy Bovin. Is that right? John Dindash, Brandon Campuzano, Marco Giangrande, Matthew Cohen, Matt Welchel, Earl Faust, Michael Zhang, Joe Potter, Jeff Bailey, Kathy Werner, Christopher Beauregard, Lance Johnson. He's another Strider Knives fan. Brian Ahern, Michael Mendoza, Ante Walter, and almost there. So I really appreciate this, guys. You guys are the best. But you're all the best.